and Gimba with Ben Cousins.
Author and parent educator from Connected Parenting, Jen MUIR, joins us, and we're talking about the dreaded horrors of the school run, particularly first thing in the morning. Jen, thanks for being on the show.
Oh, absolute pleasure. As a mum of 4 boys, I feel this one pretty deeply.
Jen, how are you even coping? You still sound like you've got a smile in your voice. What is the hardest thing to deal with and conquer when it comes to getting your kids to school?
Look, it's got to be 2 things. One is the way our kids' brain works. We've got a couple of challenges in our way when it comes to getting our kids ready for school. And the biggest is that kids are unable to multi-focus for a long time, which means you might be asking your child to put their shoes on about 17,000 times in the morning, because if they're busy playing Lego and you say put your shoes on, they are unlikely to be able to hear you. So I have a really good trick for getting around that one. Mm-hmm. And it has made the biggest impact in my house with my 4 kids. What you do is you make sure whenever you're about to direct your kids, so basically stop doing something you're enjoying to do something I need you to do, like get your shoes on, brush your teeth, or get out the door. You make sure that you get really close to your child. You put your hand on their shoulder before you talk, which tunes their body in to actually hear you. And then you whisper, not yell. And what you do is you start with connection. So you say, wow, you guys have had the best fun doing your Lego here. And then you move to the direction and say, it's now time to X, Y, Z. Now, I find if I do that with my 2 little boys that are 8 and 10, if I do that, 99% of the time they just go, okay, Mum, and they get up and they move and they actually do it.
This is how my partner has to communicate with me with my ADHD. Like, yes. I have told him, you've got to come back around. I need a few moments of processing at the start and then come back around and redo the instruction at the end, because if you just say the instruction first, I didn't hear it.
Totally. And with our kids, because the way their brains work, they can't do 2 things at once. So they can't play Lego and listen to you, number one. And also they have a lot of trouble stopping doing something like they like to do something that's less favourable. And that's just emotional regulation. So when we touch them to tune them in, when we get close to them, when we connect and make them feel seen, they feel good. They notice us and they're more likely to do what we say. So that is such a practical tip. And I promise you, it takes no more time than yelling 17,000 times to put your shoes on.
Oh, but yelling at them 10,000 times is so much fun, Jen. We have such a ball. It's great. No, go on. You go.
Look, the second thing that's happening in school mornings is that it's genuinely hard for kids, and let's be honest, for all of us, to put on that game face, go out into the world and be the person we've got to be. Even if a kid loves school and has a ball there, it can still be hard to do that transition of getting out of the house, saying goodbye to their parents if they're little, or kind of getting ready to be the person they've got to be, that has to listen to the teacher and do the right thing and follow the rules and learn all the stuff. And that's an emotional process. So the second thing we can do that helps with school mornings is actually talking to your kid the day before, even just for 5 minutes around dinner time. Hey, tomorrow's a school day. I know it can be tricky to say goodbye to Mum at the gate. What can we do to make it easier tomorrow? Or tomorrow's a school day. We had a lot of trouble getting dressed this morning. What do you say we lay out your uniform now and we just have it all ready to go, or we pack that homework now, we do that thing. Just taking the 5 minutes to prepare your child's brain emotionally for that transition period makes a big difference as well.
Jen, these are really practical tips, and they're awesome tips. The thing that I struggle with is, are we as parents these days so distracted ourselves by so many things coming into our lives through the phone, being constantly connected, all of that sort of stuff, where, we have to challenge ourselves to be a lot more present to be able to execute these things that you're talking about?
Yeah, I think 100%. And it's such a hard thing about being endlessly contactable. We are also, as parents, working more hours than parents worked in the past. Both of us work often rather than having one primary stay-at-home caregiver, which we used to have. And we're also being expected to be on call. And it's not just work that takes us away. It's, the WhatsApp groups for the kids. It's the lunch orders. It's making sure you haven't forgotten Harmony Day and whatever else is happening. There is so much happening. And I agree. I've made a bit of a conscious decision just this term to start, I brick my phone. It's a little magnet on my fridge. I tap my phone against it and it turns my phone into literally a brick that can just make phone calls.
Is it called brick? Is it the little square tab? I was literally looking at these things yesterday because we're really, really close to picking up a couple of those to take away all of the distractions and stuff from our phone because they look like really neat little gadgets.
It's really neat, and I find just tools that help us. So for me and my husband, we're bricking our phones before at 9 p.m. when we get the kids to lock theirs in a box. We brick our phones then, which stops us from the doom scroll. And I'm also making sure I brick my phone just for the dinner, bath, bed run because it's too easy to get drawn into social media or the WhatsApp groups or whatever has to happen, paying that, the present for Johnny's birthday party. All of that stuff takes us away. So it's about making that effort to clear sometimes where we're not constantly sort of drawn away into the phone because it is right. I think we get distracted and then we're like, I told you to put your shoes on, but we kind of needed to give them a hand.
100%. All right, Jen. Well, lovely to have you on the show again. Just one other thing. Sorry, mate. I'm just being... am I going to go with that or are we going to just wrap it? Sorry, Jen. Just give me a sec.
Yeah.
Ask that question. Okay, I got one more question here to ask you.
Let's do it.
To ask, how do you manage how you feel when you drop them off after you've yelled at them?
How do we relieve parents of their guilt?
No, because honestly, there's my wife. There's two different versions of her. There's the version of her that is the one that's dropped the kids off after spending the morning fighting them all morning. And that's the heavy, I've had a rough morning. Like, it just sets her up for a terrible day, right? And then there's the other version of her where everything's gone really smoothly and it's like the weight of the world is off her shoulders and she can get on with her life. And it is troubling. It's hard. It's bloody hard. So how do you do that? How do you manage how you feel if you've had a rough morning with them?
I think one of the biggest tools we can bring to our parenting, the most helpful thing I can give parents, whether it's a brand new parent that's in the first 24 hours with a newborn or whether it's us dropping multiple kids at school, is self-compassion. And by that, I mean actively in the car when you're feeling absolutely terrible, I yelled, I got it wrong, putting your hand on your heart, and I know this sounds a bit, woo-woo, but genuinely, and saying, that was really rough. And I'm a really good parent and I really try. And it might not have gone how I hoped or that was not a good morning, but I really am doing the best that I can. Now, that really matters because if we berate ourselves or go, why can't I be better? Why can't I be more patient? The reality is raising kids is messy. It is going to make us snap and yell and make mistakes. And the really good news about our kids is that if we can parent in the way we kind of want to and in the way we see on Instagram and what experts like me say, if we can do that around 30% of the time, if we can get that right 30% of the time, that's enough to raise capable, emotionally intelligent humans that have a great relationship with us. So we don't need to get it right all the time. And I think when we get it wrong, if we can be nice to ourselves, it's actually an opportunity to go, that didn't go well. How can I do something nice for myself or how can I support us so that it goes a little bit better tomorrow?
Okay.
Nice.
Great, Jen. Thank you so much. It's always nice to catch up with you and just nice to have these reminders every now and again in amongst the chaos of raising kids, mate. Good on you.
Thank you so much.